we have someone who's come up with a game-changing idea that is going to revolutionize and is revolutionizing emergency medical care. All right, he's been delayed getting to us. He stopped to help someone. On his way to the stage, Lauren. Ladies and gentlemen, Eli Beer of United Hatzalah. This is like a Jewish version of the Hell's Angels. You were born to be mild. All right, Eli, welcome to AIPAC's policy conference. You know how to make an entrance, my friend.
That's how we come.
All right, so, United Hatzalah, I can barely pronounce it. What is it?
So United Hatzalah, Hatzalah means save in Hebrew, rescue. And this baby here saves lives every single day.
So, but it's not just a motorcycle that you've created. It's bigger than that.
It's a concept. It's not only a motorcycle. An ambicycle, actually, is a two-wheel ambulance that goes in between traffic, but that's only one part of a whole concept.
So what's the idea here?
Idea is taking people from all backgrounds, like a network of people, regular people like you and me, training them like EMTs, giving them the right equipment to save people's lives. And instead of waiting for an ambulance, you could go and save your neighbor who's having a heart attack now.
And who's getting trained? What kind of people are getting trained?
We train people in Israel from all backgrounds. We have Jews and Muslims. We have Christians and Druze. We even have Bedouin women. We have men and women saving lives every single day from all backgrounds. That's why we get there so quick.
Okay, so you give me all this training, and then what do I do next? What happens then?
So we give you all the training. You have 6 months training, twice a week in the evening because you're a volunteer. You finish the training, we give you this medical bag that's inside this box. We give you either in your car, in your own personal car. We also give you an app on your phone. That app alerts you of any emergency happening around you. And by having that network of thousands of people like you responding to emergency calls, we knock down response times in hundreds of %. We're down to almost 3 minutes now.
And how long does it take an ambulance usually?
An ambulance would take, every country is different, but about, let's say, 8 to 12 minutes. It's way too much for someone who's choking or a little baby not breathing. We want to get there. Our goal in United Hatzalah is to get there within 90 seconds.
And so you have...
So this is actually on my app.
Yeah.
It alerted me that something is happening here in Washington. So I'll be here if it would be a real emergency. Even so, it's like the greatest opportunity to speak in AIPAC. I would leave you right now and run to save this person's life who's in trouble.
So your system knows, because we have smartphones, where we are, and it picks the closest person or persons?
What it does is, it's like Uber. So it picks out the closest 5 volunteers who are closest. And they come from all backgrounds. I can have a fisherman, I can have a lawyer, or I can have a taxi driver. They all have this app and have the medical equipment. So they stop everything they do and run to save people's lives. And it's amazing. We respond to over 700 calls a day now.
And you're integrated in the emergency system. When people call the emergency number, you're dispatched. And then you hand off to the ambulance when they arrive.
We're not there to replace the emergency system. We actually want to fill up the gap between an emergency happening until they show up. So sometimes when they show up, it's too late. More people die waiting for an ambulance than war and terror together. Our role in United Hatzalah is to get people like us to save lives while the ambulance is stuck in traffic.
So give me some statistics on your work.
So last year we started 2015. We didn't know, 14, we didn't know we were going to have a war. We treated 245,000 people as volunteers.
Wow. And how many life-saving situations do you think?
27,000 of them were children. And 25% of these people we treated were in life-threatening situations that we made a difference, that we helped save.
Amazing. And I understand you've exported this to some other countries.
Well, you know, the good word of Israel with innovations, goes around, and we got requests from all around the world. In South America, we're in Brazil and Panama, now in Argentina and Mexico and other countries. We're going to even India and Rwanda. So many countries around the world want to have the concept of volunteers responding with this bike, with this ambicycle, or with their own cars, and saving lives. So we're helping them get to this goal.
I heard a list of countries. Are we chopped liver here?
Well, I want to tell you something. You're not chopped liver. You don't look like one. But I'm going to tell you that our goal in United Hatzalah is to give this beautiful public gift to this world. And we want to go to America, to cities like any city, Chicago. But now, while we're talking now, in Jersey City, a group of 200 volunteers are recruiting and getting training. And God willing, in June or July, we're going to have them all ready to save lives in Jersey City under United Rescue, because they can't say the word Hatzalah there.
So if I call 911 in New Jersey this summer, the first responder I'm going to get is one of your people. You're
going to get a nice-looking guy like me, or a woman not like me, but with this jacket, this orange vest, with this symbol, I'm very proud of this symbol, made in Israel. They're going to wear it. 200 people from Jersey City are going to wear this vest and respond to emergency calls within less than 2 minutes.
So, Ellie, why you? Where did this come from?
Well, I grew up in Jerusalem. My parents made Aliyah in 1969. I grew up in Beit Vegan. And when I was 6 years old, I passed by a bus stop coming back from school on a Friday afternoon. Right in front of my eyes, an Egged bus passed by, a number 6 bus, and it blew up right in front of my eyes. I was only 6. My brother was 11. And we saw this. We got so scared. People were yelling for help. The bus was on fire. I remember an old man yelling for help to help him get up. But we got so scared, we left him on the floor and we ran away. And that affected my life. So when I grew up and I was a teenager, I decided I want to become a volunteer in an ambulance and save lives. So I was only 15 years old, and I just joined an ambulance. And I saw being in an ambulance, it's a great feeling. You help so many people when you're in an ambulance. You're actually doing God's work. But I wanted to save a life. And for a year and a half, I volunteered in an ambulance in Jerusalem. And I never got even one life to save. I helped many people. But when someone was not breathing and he had no pulse, never saw him wake up again. And I realized that gap between the emergency call happening until the ambulance arriving with me inside is too long. So I decided to start this group of volunteers. We were 15 people. A bunch of kids. We were Mishiganas. We wanted to save lives, and that was our crazy. We wanted to be a volunteer and save lives. So we started this group, and we didn't have the information about the calls coming in. So we decided to use an amazing Israeli innovation. I don't know if you guys heard of it, called chutzpah.
I think you guys invented it, actually.
Yeah, we have something in it. So we took this, we decided to, in order to get the emergency calls from the ambulance, they didn't want to share it with us. The unions didn't want to share it with us. So we bought these scanners, these police scanners. That's why Israelis are so successful, because of this chutzpah. We bought these police scanners and we started listening to them. That week, I was listening into the scanner. I was only 16 and a half years old. I heard a car accident happening around the block where my father's bookstore was. And I ran out of the bookstore. I had no medical equipment on me, but I knew that I could save a life. And this person was on the floor. He was 70 years old. I saw him bleeding literally from his neck and gushing blood. And someone said, a relative said he's on Coumadine. And I knew that if I don't stop his bleeding within 2 minutes, he's going to be dead. I took off my yarmulke off my head. And I folded my yarmulke like this, to 4. And I put a lot of pressure on this person's neck, literally pushing it in to stop his bleeding. I waited for about 20, 25 minutes. The ambulance arrived. It looked like 3 hours to me, because I was just worried about this person. He was still breathing, but he was unconscious. When the ambulance took him, they put him on the stretcher, I realized his hand fell like this, and he had a number here. I was hoping this person would be alive. 2 days later, I got a phone call from his son saying, "Are you the kid that treated my father?" I said, "Yes." I was sure he was going to say it's a funeral. He said, "My father woke up in the hospital. He would like to thank you personally for saving his life."
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Tikkun Olam. This is healing and saving the world. Israel is a blessing to the world. As pro-Israel advocates, we are blessed to have great stories to tell. Let's go out and tell them.
Brian, I want you to be a volunteer.
I'm going to be. They can.